One of the questions that has come in was actually sent in by email, is from, she's asked to remain nameless, a quality assurance specialist in a contact center. And the question is, will technology like Callbi replace QAs altogether? So there's a lady who's a bit wary about losing her job to technology. So I think, Corey, first your impression, and then I'm going to come back to Henriette on that.
So categorically, it's not there to replace the QAs. If anything, it makes the QAs more efficient, so you can do more with the same amount of people. Think of currently your typical QA assessment rates are probably 2 to 5% of calls. Now you can assess 100% of the calls, but the reality is speech analytics is not a silver bullet. It doesn't do this by itself. You've got to still interpret the result sets, as you said earlier, but more importantly, you still got to go and listen to those calls that fail your checks and balances to address it. But what it fundamentally does is changes the paradigm from random sample-based QA to exception-driven QA, to look at the exceptions, understand why the exceptions are occurring. Do you enhance the query, or is this a legitimate exception that needs to be addressed? So you're never going to get away from the human ear listening, but it makes it that much more efficient.
Okay. And then, Henriette, you've been working with, 70, 80 QAs over the last 2 years, introducing Callbi in and optimizing it in the operation. Have you come across QAs who've had this fear of job loss through technology? And would you address that, please?
Yeah, Rod, definitely. We see it everywhere so far. It's that initial fear that you are here to replace me. And I also categorically state, no, it's not to replace the human ear. It's to make the job more meaningful. The time is gone for a person to spend 8 hours of their day listening to a call if something was done or not done. It's a mundane task. If you can use a machine to do those things quicker, 100% of your calls, then you start doing more meaningful things. The human still needs to listen out for certain things. There's limitations to speech, such as, was the correct ID provided? Certain of those checks still need to happen. Certain soft skills things, the coaching side, all of that still needs to take place. But use the machine to take away the dull, meaningless jobs. And what I mean is, I come in, I log in at 8, I need to listen to 120 calls for the day and check a spreadsheet. No, now I can open a machine, I can see what failed, and I'll share my screen, and I'll, by means of an operational, practical example, show you where you now use the QA person or the verifier or whatever you call them in your business to go to the files, to validate, to help giving input to make the queries better. But because they now also have more time, they can start coaching, or they can start giving input for more meaningful queries, or they can start investigating silent calls, things like those, versus now just listening to a call.
Different questions coming in, all about it's indicating fear of job loss of QAs. Your final word on that.
Final word, I say it again. The machine is not here to replace the human. It's here to make the job more meaningful. I am here to help to make the job more meaningful, and I'm here to take anyone through that journey. I now have experience with close to 80 of our clients who's gone through the transformation. I have practical tips, guides. I will help you get the necessary analytics insights that you need, but also help with removing that fear. It is a step-by-step process, and Nosithle has mentioned it. Don't expect that day one, everything is there. It is a painful process. Change is painful for many people, but in that discomfort is where you grow and where your business grows. So the fear will be overcome when they start seeing the benefit, and I'm here to help you realize the benefit.